It's Sunday morning or Saturday night, and you usually see your parents during these times. You have dim sum with them on a Sunday morning, or you go over to their house for dinner on Saturday nights. How do you feel when you're there? How does it feel before you get there? Whether you're taking transit or you're driving out there, or you're walking, whatever. How does it feel? Do you feel anxious? Are you excited? Are you dreading it? Are you annoyed? When you get there, you see them. How do they react? How do you react to their energy? You order food, or your mom makes whatever dish and you start eating. How do you feel? How's the conversation flow? Are there moments where you pinch up and you're just biting your tongue, preventing yourself from saying something you'll regret? At the end of the dinner, or at the end of dim sum, how do you say goodbye? How do you leave? How do you feel? And when you get back home, do you want to do it all over again? And why do you want to do it all over again? Do you ever feel like you're a warm body at their house? That you're meeting a checkbox and it's to fulfill their expectation and not your own, but you feel an obligation to do so because they're your parents? I think this is so common with so many Asian children, or they're not children, they're grown children, so we're adults now, that we feel like we're meeting an expectation of our parents, but when we actually meet them, it's not really fulfilling for us. So where's the balance between your own sanity and your own fulfillment and happiness and meeting a tradition, something that's per tradition or obligation that's required because they're your parents? And it's just a really tough question to ask, because when you're trying to build a relationship with your parents, if you set your expectations too high, that you're going to get something out of it, you risk feeling disappointed in not getting what you want or getting what you put in. But then if you set your expectations too low, only go when you feel like it, or only meet up with them when you feel like it, maybe once a year or less, then you risk feeling guilty. And you feel guilty for not spending time with them, not continuing to build that relationship with them, especially when they're getting older. Especially they don't have a lot of time left on earth, and you really want to get to know them because that sense of tradition, those values of family is so strongly ingrained in you. So how do you find the balance? How do you find a happy medium where you're neither disappointed nor are you feeling guilty? And I don't think there's an answer to it. I think it's really about understanding why you want to have a relationship with your parents and why you want to keep building that and improving it. And everyone's why is different. Maybe it's because you want to get to know them as peers, as adults, because throughout your whole life they've always seen you as a child, and you want to get to know, and you've always seen them as parents. So where do you find the common ground? And maybe a reason is because you have absolutely no idea where you came from. You want to know their stories. You want to know where they came from, how they immigrated from China or Vietnam or whatever country. And that story, you want to know your roots. So I think to have that balance, so you're neither feeling disappointed nor are you feeling guilty, really understand your why, and that will help shape what your expectations are. Because if you're trying to understand your story, then you're going to have to set time to have those conversations with them. If all your what you want out of the relationship is to fulfill their needs, then you're going to have to grip and grin and go through that checkbox of seeing them on a regular basis. So think about your why, and that's the most important piece in managing your expectations, not feeling disappointed and guilty.